4, 3, 2, 1.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point you realize you married into crazy. And that's what our show is all about. If your marriage or relationship is compassionate, real, accountable, zealous and yielding, or just plain crazy, Snooks and Lovey offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as they unpack this thing called marriage. Sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
Welcome back to another episode of the Married Into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
And I'm Lovey. And as always, we're welcoming you back because you could be doing anything, but you've chosen to hang out on this podcast. For those of you that are new to the Married Into Crazy podcast, we're a married couple for the last 28 years.
28 plus years.
The plus matters. And we've been through some things. I'm not going to go into the whole drawn out. There's a lot of episodes that gets into it. But basically, before we even got married, she had an ex, broke into her home, attacked her. I saved her. I got stabbed through the heart. Yes, through the heart. Survived it. Had 2 open heart surgeries. Then 4 years later, she asked for a divorce.
I didn't ask. I just told him I wanted one.
She demanded.
I didn't demand.
She demanded a divorce.
I didn't demand. I just said I want a divorce.
She didn't say it like that.
I did say it like that because we were in the restaurant and I don't make scenes. I don't believe in any of that. So I didn't.
Why were we in the restaurant? Why were we in the
Because it
restaurant?
was our anniversary. I thought you just said that. You didn't say that.
On our anniversary dinner.
Okay.
4-year anniversry dinner. And she said, I want a divorce.
I didn't say, I just said.
Give him the check. No.
I might have said that part. No.
And we worked our way through it. Look, we wanted to become that couple that we needed during that time period. So there was a variety of things that happened over the course of those years. You know, I was supposed to move out, stayed. A lot of things transpired. But the bottom line is we realized we were married into crazy.
And crazy is an acronym, and it stands for compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding.
A lot of yielding.
A lot of compassion.
A lot of yielding. No, but it's been fun, right? It's been fun. We've enjoyed it. I mean, we wouldn't be married for 28 plus years if we didn't find our rhythm. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we tell people that you got to find that rhythm. But before I go any further, do us a favor. Go over to marriedintocrazy.com. Again, that's marriedintocrazy.com and look at all the different ways that we pour into other marriages. This podcast is just one of the many things that we do. We love the podcast because we invite other couples on to talk about their love story, their ups, their downs, how they got through it, when they have advice. We bring subject matter experts to come on and talk about different aspects of marriage, different resources they have to help lift our marriages up. So that way we can truly have that long, healthy relationships.
We also interview other couples. I'm a story person, so I love to hear everyone's origin story and just how people have overcome certain things in their relationship. Let's just be honest. Everyone has something that has happened or is happening in their relationship. And, it's cool when number one, you're not by yourself. You're not this anomaly, like I'm the only person, or we're the only people this is happening to, but getting ideas of how someone else has dealt with something, how they come through something. So we talk about other couples that, not talk about them, but talk with them. They have an interesting story. They may be famous, may not be famous. I don't know.
Could be the couple next door, could be a Grammy Award winning artist and, their spouse. But the bottom line is it's really more about you. It's more about the covenant than anything else. And today we want to get into something that's a little different. Some of it's humorous, some of it's very serious.
First of all, I just want to say welcome back to us, because the last 2 episodes have been, one was me by myself, the other was you by yourself. So welcome back together.
She likes to pat herself on the back.
I'm not bad. I'm just saying.
There was the Queen's Corner. There was the Queen's Corner that she did, and then I just did the King's Corner that aired this previous week. And it was just different perspectives, right? A lot of times we're together, but every now and then we want to offer up our individual perspectives on certain subjects.
Mm-hmm. Then I don't have to hear them getting upset because I'm taking up too much time, or I'm not talking enough, or whatever.
She ain't in the kitchen long enough cooking my meal. No, just playing.
Wow. Because, he would be at the hospital tonight.
Ooh, okay. Look, we going to play doctor?
Not with the nurse.
Hey, look, we have a lot of fun with this. Look, you have to have fun in your marriage. And before we go any further, I have to throw this out there. Go over to wherever. If you have an Android, go to Google Play. If you have an Apple phone, go over to the Apple App Store and download the Married into Crazy app. You can take coaching with you on the go. It's in your pocket. There's a lot of resources that are there, different levels that are there. We're going to be adding some more free resources to the app as well for those individuals that are like, I'm not quite sure if I want to go for the coaching, but there's a lot of stuff that we end up doing. There's monthly coaching calls, group coaching call that we bring everybody into. There's a variety of resources. There's a free, I won't say free, it's actually in the app. It's a curriculum that you can actually utilize as well. So anyway, go check out the app also. Mm-hmm. Now, without further ado, your brother is...
So my older brother, I have two brothers. My older brother is not married. He's on his way to Jamaica and he's proposing to his girlfriend. They've been together for about 4 years. So he's going to propose. He showed me the ring. The ring is beautiful and everything. And he's excited. He's kind of nervous, so it's fine. It's funny to see him like that because he's Mr. Charisma, confident, whatever. And for him to be kind of nervous, I was like, are you excited? He goes, yeah, I guess so. I'm kind of nervous though. And I was like, why? He said, shoot, what if she say no? I fell out laughing. I was like, she ain't gonna say no because she dealing with you all this time y'all been together. I promise you she's not gonna say no. So next week when we come back or the next time we're back, I can give an update on whether she said yes or no.
But one of the funny things is he and I have had talks over the years, and a lot of it was about, look, man, don't even think about marriage unless, and that's what I want to talk about. Some of it's humorous, like I said, but you know what? There's a phrase that I want to dive into, and that is, don't get married unless. And there's some things, unless it's like ... right? Some of it's like I can tell you right now, don't get married unless you're prepared to give up all of the bathroom. I know it's usually two sinks. Sometimes you got them two sinks. It's not his and hers. It's hers, and sometimes his.
Nope.
So don't get married unless you're prepared to actually ask for permission to use your sink.
See, now I have to go and say something because it's not about that. Don't buy a house unless the bathroom is big enough for... What are you finna say?
No, I'm just laughing.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. Don't buy a house unless you have a big bathroom. And Look, you know that there's going to be... Because we already know I'm going to have more of the sink. We knew that. So anyway, so look, you talk about don't get... So
before we get into this, I want you guys to think about this. Think of that phrase. Don't get married unless... And write them into us. Send it in to info@marriedintocrazy.com. Mail it in. Hey, don't get married
unless you're prepared to have your leftovers that you put in your refrigerator eaten up by your spouse. Don't do that. Don't get married because that will happen. I don't know. Is it just our household? I'm not sure, but I will put something in the refrigerator. And next thing I know, I'm going to look for it and I see the carton in the garbage. Like, what happened to my food?
Look, don't get married unless you're prepared to have a 2-car garage, but there's no space for you to put your car in because hers is in the middle. Or she got that gangster lean to where it's like, in order to get out the car, you got to lose 5 pounds as soon as you drive in.
You have plenty of space in the garage. What are you talking about?
Look, don't get married unless you're prepared to freeze in your house or be baked out of your house.
Exactly. And if you're prepared to freeze.
No, unless you're prepared to be baked out. Look, don't get married unless you're prepared to have the covers stolen from you every single night, or
you don't even use covers. What are you talking about?
In the middle of summer, have the individual put on a comforter, a duvet, and all kinds of things to have you sweating. You don't need a sauna.
Don't get married unless you're prepared to have your spouse exaggerate about everything. So,
listen, on the real though, when we talk about those couples that are getting into their relationships, don't get married unless you have conversations about
the important things.
The important things.
I mean, and I guess I feel like you all should decide together on what's important. That is the important part. Having those conversations, and for some people, they're hard conversations to have. Talking about money, talking about children, how you're going to raise your children if you have any, church to go to, or if you're gonna, if you are gonna go to church. Some people decide they want to go, some don't. So,
well, yeah, I mean, we were just with a couple that talked about one of the big things that, they've been married for a number of years, and they're having conversations about, kind of like going in a little bit more on their spirituality. They want to find a church home. That, so have those conversations up front. Look, here's another thing. Don't get married unless you're prepared to show up on those hard days consistently. You can't be one of those fair weather spouses where it's like, look, I'm only in it when it's good. The moment things are bad, I'm out. Call me when you feel better, or call me when your attitude changes. No, you got to weather the storm.
And another thing is, don't get married unless you're prepared to forgive, because forgiveness is key in a relationship. As humans, we're individual people, right? And we all do things that might hurt the other person's feelings. Sometimes it's intentional. Hopefully it's not. But I mean, sometimes some people do something intentional to hurt the other person. But a lot of times, I want to say most of the time, I'm hoping that is not intentional. But you have to be willing to forgive. And, a lot of people, so I'm not forgiving, because if I forgive, then that means that's giving you license to continue to do that. It's
Permission.
like, no, permission. Yeah. Nope, that's not what that's for. And when we say forgiveness is really for you, it really is for you, because that's freeing, for learning how to forgive your partner when they have done you wrong.
That's real talk.
And also learn to forgive yourself, because there are things that you might do, and you could have, like, the thing that you do can hold you back. That can keep you stuck also, So you have to not only seek forgiveness, but also give forgiveness of yourself.
That's true. I mean, you always have to be prepared. And this is specifically for the men. Look, on the real, you have to be able to forgive her when she takes up all that sink space.
Gonna say something
I'm going to always bring it back to the bathroom and the fact that,
wow.
I have my razor and my toothbrush. I'm in the corner brushing my teeth and shaving at the same time.
Okay, first
No,
of
just
all,
playing.
nobody's going to believe that.
Don't get married unless you're prepared to have somebody eat your French fries even after you call home and say, do you want anything? And they say no. And then you walk to the door and they start eating your French fries.
Okay, having a fry is not eating them all up. Is it? Don't get married if you can't share. Yeah, that part.
Don't get married unless you're prepared to yield, to compromise. They say compromise is a bad word, that yielding is a thing that, we should meet in the middle. And you're right, you should. But sometimes you got to figure out what battles you want to actually fight. Don't sit here and get caught up in these little tiny battles and lose the war. Now, I even hate that reference. I don't want to call marriage a war, because it's not that.
Sometimes for some couples, it probably is.
We need to go see War of the Roses. The Roses. I want to see that.
Oh, that's the remake of the War of the Roses.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
But honestly, though, when it comes to yielding, that's one of the things that we talk about in being crazy, being compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding. Be real. Don't get married unless you're prepared to be crazy.
Well, and kind of to that point, don't get married unless you're prepared. Don't get married if you're not prepared to give 100% of yourself. I always think about that song. And it was said, this was said in a lot of other phrases, it's a 50-50. That Teddy Pendergrass song, It's So Good Loving Somebody When Somebody Loves You Back.
Somebody loves you.
I love that song. But, they talk about it's not 70-30, not 60-40, talking about a 50-50 love. It's actually not a 50-50 love. It's 100%. 100%. I have to give 100%. He has to give 100%. And let's keep it real. Sometimes that 100%, it may look like 85 for real. it might look like 30 for real, but I'm putting effort forth.
Everything that you have in that moment.
Yeah. Because we are going to fall short. There are going to be times where I'm just not feeling it. And in those times, I'm going to need my partner to step up, because we've gone through some things. I mean, a lot of you know our story, as far as like, we just shared that I told him I wanted a divorce at year 4, and coming back from that was very awkward, and trying to learn again how to give that 100%. When we lost our son, coming back from that, trying to make sure that we're giving 100%. There are days where I'm just like, I have nothing. My saucer is completely dry. My cup is completely dry. I can't give anything. My partner, babe, Lovey, stepped up, and he was there for me. He stepped in. So that's when we say about giving 100%. There are going to be days where you're going to give more than your partner. You're going to do more than your spouse. Don't hold that against your spouse. It's not, and that's another thing. Don't get married if you're trying to keep score, because marriage is this is not a score keeping sport. Okay. You got to give your all. You got to give everything. You got to put it out there. You got to be willing to do that.
Yeah. This is going to sound odd, but don't get married unless you're prepared to be wrong. and I mean, and there's two sides of that coin.
He was prepared.
On the funny side, it's like, oh, you're always going to be wrong. When they talk about, what's the secret to a happy life, happy wife, happy life, happy spouse, happy house, those kinds of things. I don't know if I subscribe to all that, but I will tell you this, that no single individual is always right. Right. And let's keep it real. There have been times over these 28 years where neither of us was right.
That's a good point.
Right. But we're battling over who's going to be right when we're both in the wrong. The only person that's ever right in your relationship is God. That's the only person. And if you're not turning to God first for everything, then you're probably in the wrong. There's his story, her story, and God's truth. And a lot of times we don't want to deal with God's truth because we're so focused on being right. So don't get married unless
focusing on yourself,
unless you're prepared to absolutely be wrong.
Another thing too, I say sometimes about, sometimes we're in our feelings, you get in your feelings. And so don't get married if you think that love is just a feeling. Love is action. That's the action word. So you have to be prepared to show up, and not just, because I just love him. Does he know? I mean, and not just because you said it. What action items are you doing? It's action. So be prepared. Don't get married if you're not prepared to be actionable in your marriage.
That's good, because action. I mean, it's all about action. It's biblical. You can't just sit there and pray and sit back and be like, okay, God, handle it. Now, there's some things that God will handle, with or without you. But the bottom line is you still need to put legs to your prayers, right? That's in the biblical sense. But in your relationship, you need to be able to put legs to your love. You can't sit there and say, well, I love them and they should take care of me and they should know that I love them. Or the James Evans, they know I love them. I put food on the table. The lights are on. You know what I mean? You got heat. There's more to it than that. It's not a thing. It's an action.
Yeah.
And we got to show up and put it into action every single day. Here's another one. Don't get married unless you're prepared to not get all the sex that you want. Hey, I said it. That's right. No.
That's hilarious. I mean, but that is true. And I feel like a lot of people they look at the women and they make it be about, the women, we're not, satisfying our men, and, they're going to the bed and they're not getting any or whatever. I mean, sometimes we be wanting it and they don't want to because they tired too.
I know somebody's like, what? Wait, hold on. What? Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, look, I was with the men's group. It's like a group of gentlemen that I'll have dinner with occasionally. And we just hang out and stuff. And I'm going around the room and they're varying ages. fellas are keeping it real. I was like, look, there's times where she's like, hey, and I'm like, look, I'm tired. I've been working. I've been doing this, that, and the other. You're going to have to catch me tomorrow. It's real. Look, we're human beings. No, it's not a performative thing. Nobody's showing up just to perform, to sit there and be that individual that's just going to jump through a hoop and do whatever. Not your wife and not the husband.
That's true.
Right? So you got to know that marriage is so much more than what you see in these Hallmark movies.
Well, I like not the Hallmark ones. I like the romantic movies or whatever. So
don't get married unless you're prepared to have this Groundhog Day, endless loop of, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat?
Oh, wow.
What do you mean? What's for dinner? What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? And then it was almost like SpongeBob. 3 hours later, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat?
I don't know. I feel some kind of way right now. I feel like that was a dig.
I'm just saying. I mean, it happens. I mean, look, you don't even got to be married for that to happen.
That does happen. I ain't gonna lie. That does happen. But I just wonder when that happens, if I say I don't know, how come you just don't pick something yourself?
Oh, I don't want that. It's always something.
If I say I don't know, I don't. What? What do you mean?
Look,
Whatever.
Don't get married unless you don't mind your spouse's clothes being draped over your side of the bed, even though they got a full whole side of their bed.
Okay, so yeah, don't get married unless that, because that never happens.
Girl, your stuff is always on my side of the bed.
When?
Oh,
Lovey, I know you're ashamed.
you change for your workout clothes, and then all of a sudden, there's her pants on my side. Why is her robe on my side of the bed?
No. If there's a robe on the side of your bed, that's because our grandson likes to cuddle up in my robe because he likes the way it feels. I do not put my stuff on your side of the bed. Here's another thing. Don't get married if you're the only person.
You're supposed to say, don't get married unless.
Don't get married.
Don't get married unless you're prepared for your spouse to just mess up the whole phrase.
Wow. Don't get married unless you're prepared to always be the only person to move all the stuff off the bed when you go to bed. When they go to bed, they just move the pillow put it on your side and they go to bed. Don't get married. Fired. What are you talking about? This house was already fire. I was already ducking and dodging. And what are you talking about?
Oh, let me turn on my mic. Look, don't get married unless.
Okay, what's up?
You're prepared to clean the bathroom, only to have your spouse come behind you and clean it again because they didn't like the way you cleaned it.
Well,
and then we'll say you don't do nothing around here.
Okay, first of all, we know that never happens in our house because he don't clean nothing anyway. So yeah, don't do that. Anyway, don't get married unless you are prepared to be serious all the time. Is that a way to say it?
Mm-mm.
How do you say it? Don't get married.
Don't get married unless you're prepared to have some humor.
Don't get married unless you're not prepared. Don't get married.
Don't get
See,
married
you got me all
unless
confused.
You're prepared to laugh with each other and laugh at yourselves.
Yeah,
you gotta not take yourself too serious.
Yeah, don't ever take yourself too serious. You have to be able to have something to laugh at and be willing to laugh at yourself and be like, oh wow, that's my bad. Call your own self out on stuff and not be so uptight and just so rigid. You gotta,
Don't get married unless you're prepared to always be hot. And when I say hot, I mean honest, open, and transparent.
I was like, we already talked about that, but you're not talking about,
No, I'm talking about
in
full
communication.
Mm-hmm. And communication and your feelings, to be vulnerable. Don't get married unless you're prepared to be vulnerable. Mm. That vulnerability hurts. When you open up the door to vulnerability, you are giving the other person license to hurt you. I'm just being honest. I mean, that's
true.
You're giving them license to hurt you. But it's that vulnerability. They're not going to hurt you more times than not if you've married the right person. But what that does is that opens up your heart, that opens up your soul, that opens up your body, your spirituality, everything to being that much more connected and forming a bond with your spouse. Mm-hmm. When you see couples where they finish each other's sentence or they see something, I'm laughing because we do it all the time, but where somebody will do something and then they'll look at each other and they're thinking the exact same thought. Like, what you thinking? And then you say it and then you finish each other's sentence. that's the dividends you get from having extreme vulnerability. Don't get married unless you are prepared to be absolutely vulnerable.
Another thing too is don't get married unless you are okay. I won't even say okay. Don't get married unless you enjoy having some alone time or being alone. And I say that being okay with it. So because when we get married, we want to make sure that we're getting married for the right reasons. We're not getting married because I'm lonely, or we're not getting married just so that somebody else could be here. You want to make it so the choice is because I actually love this person, not because, oh, I feel a need to be with someone because I'm afraid to be by myself. You have to be able to say, I love me, I enjoy me, because if you don't love and enjoy yourself, you can't expect another person to love and enjoy you too. Because that, number one, is too much pressure to put on another person to feel to feel those shoes that you should be feeling for yourself.
Come on, come with it. Look,
Bars.
don't get married unless you are prepared to accept Costco as a date night.
Right. Hey, there's sightseeing, there's shopping, sometimes there's eating involved. There's some drinking.
Going aisle to aisle, that's right.
Yeah, you get some choices. It's a whole vibe.
You can go in there and get a gun safe, some
I was
shorts,
like, get a gun.
children's book, some frozen fish.
Get some lobster.
You can get a bottle of wine. You get a little bit of everything up in Costco. That place is an adventure. That's like Disneyland for adults.
That's very true.
Because you never know what's going to be in there,
You
right?
never ever know what's going to be in there. So another thing too is, I want to say, don't get married. Be prepared. Be prepared to have the designated driver.
You can say don't get married unless you're prepared to be the DD.
Okay, don't get married unless you're prepared to have the designated driver be a slow car magnet.
What? Oh, wow. Really? Look, it's not my fault. I'll get traffic's going slow and different.
Take my glasses off and just
then
stare.
I switch the lane, and all of a sudden the person I get behind decides, ooh, you know what? They say Shazam, but instead of turning into a superhero, they turn into like Grandma June or something, and they just start driving like 45 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone.
Don't get married unless you're okay with your partner driving like Grandpa Jed.
Don't get married unless you're prepared to have your spouse talk about your driving all day long.
I don't talk about it all day long.
I have a company car. I got to drive that thing right. I can't be like Trixie and Speed Racer driving all over the place.
You're absolutely
you should see her.
Correct. I'm Racer X.
Man, is she ever bumping people off the road? There she go. She's a demon on wheels.
Whatever. You know what? Another thing too is, I think a lot of people don't get married unless you're prepared to deal with having, or don't get married unless you're prepared to navigate having different types of schedules. So I think I'm not a morning person, but I am definitely a night person, a night owl. So Lovey will go to bed way earlier than I do. And sometimes when we go to bed at the same time, I'm just like up all night. I can be up all night and still function the next day with a few hours of sleep. But just saying, be prepared that sometimes you may have to navigate different schedules.
Yeah, I'm just going to let that one rest. Because, no, I'm waking up in the middle of the night like, why are you still on your iPad? Or why are you reading a book?
I'm reading a book.
What time is it? It's 2 a.m. I'm like, good Lord.
Oh, good Lord.
I have the ability to just open up, have a conversation. Like, okay, we good? And then within 90 seconds, I'm asleep again.
He has the ability to do what he just said. Get up, go downstairs, get some water, check something in the garage, come back upstairs, get back in the bed, and less than 60 seconds later, he's back sleeping again. He picks up right where he left off at. So
it's a superpower.
It definitely is a superpower that I do not possess.
Look, don't get married unless you are prepared to be committed to the person that you said I do to and to the person that they're becoming. It's not just about the individual that you fell in love with and they look good, they smell good, they say all the right things, and you've got that, you're enamored with them, and then you go through all the processes and you say, I do. And then 5 years later, they're different. You're like, you are not the person I married.
Well, that's
Look,
true.
they're not supposed to be. And neither are you. We've talked about this numerous times. You should be prepared for growth, right? To evolve, to continuously have that open mindset where you're going to continue to have that growth. And so be prepared to be in love, not just with who you are, not just with who they are, but who you will both become together throughout the years.
Yep, that's true. That's very true. I like it.
So this was fun. We had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And let us know what you come up with. What are some of the things you might finish that sentence with? Don't get married unless, and let's keep it above, well, don't come with some ratchet stuff. Don't get married unless he gonna put his side chicks off to this. No, okay, we don't want to hear all that. I mean, we do know that stuff exists, but that's not for here, that's not for there, and that's not being married into crazy.
Because he shouldn't have no side chicks.
He should be front and back. Just playing. Just playing. She my front, my back, my side, my 360-degree love.
Wow, he said front and back. Okay, I'm on that note. I'm just gonna say this last thing. Keep save the date for February 6th and 7th is our second Married into Crazy Winter Ball. Starts at the very beginning of Marriage Week, which is the week preceding Valentine's Day. So save the date for that. It's going to be a great time. We are getting everything lined up and ready to go.
You can start seeing advertisements. We're locking people down, getting the contracts, the caterer, everything's moving right along as it should. And this year we're actually partnering with the Bravo Foundation. It's a 501c3 that focuses on helping and standing up for children that have lost their parents due to senseless violence. And so we are partnering with them, and there's going to be a portion of the proceeds that are going to go directly to the Bravo Foundation to help them with what they are doing. So we're excited about that. We're excited about your marriage. We're excited about the future. And we're excited to see what you might send in to us to finish that sentence. Don't get married unless. I wonder what you're going to say. But look here. Until the next time.
Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. Please like, subscribe to, and review the show wherever you access it, and tell a friend about us. Visit marriedintocrazy.com and see how Snooks and Lovey can bless your marriage directly.